Hello, thank you for tuning in to this section of weekly reads. I'm also doing in-person reads in Herkimer, New York. The information should be below. If not, email me and I'll give you the details if you're near Herkimer, New York. This should be on the YouTube channel, James13 Wicca. Every now and then we get some weird people pulling funny little stunts, so I'm going to make sure that that's there. I'm going to put the decks below, and beyond that, let's go ahead and get into your read. If you want a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again, and again, like I said, on to your reading. Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Gemini? This, ironically, is really good, but other people may mess with you a little bit. You got to be careful about other people messing with you. If other people mess with your tranquility of mind, does that make sense? Your mental sanctuary, then this could be a problem. The thing is, something good is coming your way. I feel like somebody else, maybe more than one somebody else, may not agree, and they may push that on you a bit to where you might be questioning, is it not really that good? Should I not have this? That type of thing. You're circumventing the system, and this is going to make some people mad. This is your purpose in life. Gemini finds the ways that other people can't find. Other people don't like that all the time. You know what? And that's their problem. This is who you're meant to be. You're meant to sit there and walk through every little step of the pattern. You're meant to see what the pattern has to offer and find your way through it the way that works for you. Being who you are, there's no reason to feel bad, but other people may try to, because they're like, it feels to me like someone saying, you got to do 7 years of this, and you got to do this and that and the other thing, and until you do all that, you're not allowed to do this. And you might find loopholes to where, I got this, I shortcutted that, I know this here, I can't do everything this other person can do, but what I want to do, I can do that, and it only took me 3, maybe 5 years instead of the 7. You might shortcut the system because you don't want everything that they have. You might be like, I know what I need to do, this is how I need to do it, I got what I needed to do, and now I can do what I want. And somebody else might be very bent out of shape about that, because I feel like when I was looking at this, I feel like this was going to be the long road, forever and a day. So it's like, I don't know why I'm using this analogy, because I don't think it's physically possible. So I'm in the States, and I'm thinking the long road to China, but I'm like, I don't think you could physically walk to China. I don't think there's a land bridge. I don't think so. I could be wrong. But it's kind of like, that's how it looked. Kind of like it was going to be like, it's like an epic life choice. Like, to walk that far, I feel like I'd be old and gray before I even got close. You found your way. You did. Did somebody help you? Well, the thing is, probably, but did they purposely help you, or did you just figure it out? That's the question, I think. Sometimes I feel like people don't realize that about Gemini. Gemini is always paying attention. To me, it seems like you're always paying attention. Even when you don't realize you're paying attention, you're like, oh, I remember hearing that. Oh, yeah. It's kind of like, I feel like you're very perceptive. It may not be in the forefront of your mind, but you probably caught on to something. This energy is an ally energy for you, actually. If you're going to boil it down to the sign it talks about Aries. You don't have to be dealing with an Aries, but it could be somebody like that who's very brutal, very to the point. And somebody, I feel like, either purposely or inadvertently showed you the way to go. They might have opened a door and not realized they left it open. To them, it might have been like, oh, this is just information. What does it matter? But to you, you're like, yeah, but I know where to look with that. I know what to do with that. I know how I can take that a little further. And I don't see this, whoever this is doesn't seem to be too, I would say, concerned with what you're going to do with that information. I don't know if they're expecting you to do anything with it, but they're not concerned with it. But somebody's giving you information. I don't know if it's purposeful. I have no idea. I really don't. But when you see it, you take a possibility and you make it into reality. You take it from the moon and you put it into the Ace of Pentacles. It's kind of like it's going from here to here. Whatever this is, I feel like it's slow and I don't like it. And I feel the reason you're moving on this fairly quickly, in my opinion, because I'm getting some fire. I'm getting the Phoenix twice, actually. I'm noticing this. Each deck has it once, and you got it both times. You're making a change, and other people aren't going to like it. But you're like, I don't want to take this long life choice. I want to do different. I want to do something else that makes more sense to me. Hiccups. Woo. There are the phoenixes I'm seeing. I feel like this is obvious that this is a phoenix. I feel like they're both phoenixes, but you could argue that the other one is, I want to say, is it a golden condor? I don't know. It could be a bird. I think there's a bird that has similar coloring. But I think of it as the phoenix, quite frankly. Especially the way it glows in the red. You're coming from the ashes, and you're starting your ascent. There is the worry with the phoenix, just to be fair, because it has a cycle. It rises from the ashes, it burns bright, burns out, and crashes. And then it rises from the ashes again. It just has that cycle, and just over and over again. You're at the part where you're rising from the ashes. Watch the situation closely and see if it has this cycle for you. If you're aware of it, it's kind of like if you know you're going to burn out, you just make sure you're at a place where you know you can be more comfortable burning out, or you can get away from things. What was that movie? There was a movie with a phoenix in it where the bird was on a perch, and it burned out on the perch, and it didn't really fall very far, and then it came back after that. But if you have that cycle, make sure you plan ahead so that you can be in a place where, okay, this at some point this is actually going to burn out. I got to just make sure I'm aware of it so I can do what I need to do when such things happen. Just think ahead a little bit. You'll do what you need to, because you are moving forward. And I get that, like, you are finding the exact way to do it. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. That's the thing. I feel like that's what's actually making some people even more angry. There's literally nothing wrong with what you're doing. You are following the rules. With the Justice card there, and the passion of pleasure, passion and pleasure, you're doing it right. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything outside the rounds of what's allowed. But somebody else, maybe more than one somebody else, may be very bent out of shape about it. It may try to make it look like, that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. That's not right for this. That's not right for that. It may be right for you. It may be right for you. There is going to be the temptation to walk away from what you found. You don't have to. You don't have to. Because there is something of uncertainty with this. By taking this new path, it's kind of like, what else happens with it? What else might I lose, or what else might I gain? There is that chance that you'll just be like, you know what, all right, these people said that I shouldn't do that, I can't do that, I won't do that. Or you could step into the Wheel of Fortune. You're one of those signs that you can make that Wheel of Fortune. If there's something good to come out of it, and typically there's a balance of good and bad in the Wheel of Fortune, Gemini's the one who could step into their power, this is what this says, and make that wheel work to your favor. I don't expect you're like looking at it like, oh, I'll just do this and then we're good. I feel like you're looking at it like, all right, this will be the first step, and I think I can get where I need to go. I just got to stay alert, and I can make it, and I can get what I want out of this situation. And that's definitely true from what I'm getting. Granted, readings are for entertainment purposes only. Take it with a grain of salt. But I'm getting you have a possibility here right in front of you. And if you choose to take it, I got a few different things coming in. People are not going to be happy about this. You have the intellect to make it work. I feel like Geminis are underestimated. People may not realize that you have the intelligence to make it work. Geminis, I feel like a lot of times talk in a way where it's beyond what other people can comprehend. Not always, not all Geminis, but it's beyond what people can comprehend. And instead of thinking you're talking beyond their means, instead they think that you're just gobbledygook, that you don't make any sense. Instead of thinking it's just they don't understand the level you're at, they kind of take it the other way. You just don't make any sense. And that's not the truth. You're very smart, but other people don't like that. And the fact that you're going to make it through this is really going to start to really burn their biscuits, because they're going to look at it like Gemini's not smart enough to make that work. That shouldn't be working for them. If it's that easy, I wish I had done it. It's not easy. You know what you're doing. You know what to look for. You know how to handle it. You don't have to worry about what other people think if you don't want to. There's a card missing. Did I pick it up? I must have moved it. There's literally, how you're feeling about this has completely been moved. I have no idea what that card was or where I put it. You can find your own sanctuary by finding ways to detach from other people's opinions and thoughts about you. I'm a big fan of Paul McKenna, British author. There's other gurus out there that can help you do that too, but I'm a big fan of that one. If you can find processes or what do you call those? Exercises, mental exercises to detach yourself from other people's thoughts and feelings, it could be very beneficial to you, because they're saying you don't have to buy into what other people think. And it could be people, like, for example, it could be people in your family that don't like where you're going, or it could be friends, could be coworkers, could be colleagues. You will do really well with this. But the thing is, with other people causing this negative energy around you, it could make you question that and feel like maybe I'm not as good as I think I am, or maybe I don't know what I need to know, or maybe I shouldn't have what I have. You will have that King of Cups energy, but if you're feeling like you're living in the Five of Cups, it could damage that abundance that you have. Be aware of it. Other people's effect on you could mentally cause you damage and cause damage to this the success that you're looking at here. And I haven't shown this, but other people they're trying to bring you down. Be careful of that. The Devil's here with the Two of Pentacles in the environment. And it's a little tricky game. If you're noticing certain people have this knack to where they just want to build you up and knock you down, like I've noticed this in my life once in a while. I don't think, not currently, but in the past, I've had friends, friends, who they liked me when they thought that I was beneath them. But if I started doing something that was more than what they could do, then I got treated badly, or I was talked to negatively. Be aware of people treating you bad because they think you're excelling either what they can do or what they have decided you should be allowed to do or should be able to do. It's kind of like you're stepping out of what they've defined your comfort zone is for them. It's kind of like, how do I explain this? It's kind of like if you're living in this certain house in this certain neighborhood and it's this class of neighborhood, for example. I think it's a bad one to give, and they're living in the hoity-toity. If you move into their area or something like their area, all of a sudden, what you do is wrong. You don't know how you're doing things. You shouldn't really be there. You're spending beyond your means. Like, be aware of that like they're all good with you until you start showing, or even if you're doing just a couple things, like you're still living in the same house, but you start upgrading and your house is very beautiful and it's in a normal neighborhood. Maybe you live in a normal neighborhood and they live in this hoity-toity area, but your house starts to become much more, admirable, because of all the things you've done to it. And they start treating you bad because they're like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. Be aware of people like that. Don't tolerate people like that. I'm just saying. I don't think anybody should tolerate people like that. See them for who they are and then leave them to their own devices, is what I say. All right, are we good? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.